It feels like yesterday I was saying 4, but there are now only 3 months left until your GCSE exams. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down what I did and also what you should be doing to achieve the top results between now and your exams. For context, my name is Henry Brand. I produce revision content and I got all 9s in my GCSEs, and I'm trying to help you achieve the best results possible. In this video, I'm going to be ultra specific, giving you guys specific times, hours you should be studying, and hopefully provide you with an effective framework that will mean that you succeed in your exams. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to just go straight into this, but please subscribe and leave a like. The first thing that I want to talk about is my own mocks, just for some context in terms of what you can do and what is possible to improve. So in my November mocks, the full results I got was 3 in chemistry, 6 in biology, 6 in physics, I believe, 7 in maths, 8 in English language. Okay, so pretty decent grades apart from chemistry, which I failed. Now, flash forwards to my January mocks, and I achieved in chemistry 1 mark off a 9. So that's 2 or 3 months in chemistry. I went from a 3 to 1 mark off a 9. Now, I've got proof for that, and I can make sure to show that as well. And in my January mocks, I basically got 3 8s and the rest 9s. Now, my January mocks were only paper 1s, so it wasn't like the whole thing. But I did go from 6s, 5s, 3s, all the way to 9s and 8s in that amount of time. And then obviously by the time the exams came around, I made sure to get all 9s as well. So it is possible, and you have to believe in yourself. And my story shows that it's definitely possible. And this video is going to show that as well. Now for this video, what I've done is I have taken basically my GCSE planner, and so I had a planner when I was in my GCSEs, and I've typed up and I've uploaded it and I have reviewed it. So I've been looking at my planner, what I was specifically doing this time during my GCSE during year 11. Now you can download this for free. All you have to do is just put your email into the link. So click the link in the description, put your email in, and you'll get the free My Planner, exactly what I was doing during my GCSEs. So make sure to do that. So let's talk about specifics of what you should be doing with 3 months left. Now, many people may be saying like, oh, you need to be doing loads and loads of past papers and all of that sort of stuff. However, for me, it's about the balance. The reason that I went, and listen to this carefully, the reason that I managed to go from those 3s and my November grades to my January grades was I just ground through content. If you're at 4s, 5s, even those type of grades, then probably the best thing you can do is learn new stuff. You clearly don't have enough knowledge. You clearly don't know how to structure things. So you've got to learn content. Now, in terms of a specific percentage, I was doing probably about 60 to 65% of my revision time was still learning content at this point. So the other 40, 35% was exam practice, essay questions, but I was still mainly learning content. Now, to do this, I was using websites such as Seneca Learning, which is really effective. I recommend that so much. There are other great websites out there, Cognito, whatever works for you. And I was just literally grinding through that. I would sit down, I'd put my phone away, and I would learn content. So you can see in the free planner that you should download how much I was spending on Seneca of just loads and loads of different topics. So most of your revision should still be content. And another quick reminder, most of it, or at least a decent amount, should be science. Remember, science took up 40% of my revision. So quite a lot of my time was science, because for me it was 3 grades. It might be 2 grades for you, but students often neglect science. If you want to do well across the board, don't forget about subjects like science. So it's important that you're still going through a lot of content in this time. 2 months out is when we probably are starting to transition, more 50-50 split. And then, from the 2 month to the 1 month, you are just mainly doing exams. But there's still time to learn a lot of content. And if you don't know lots of content, that's probably going to be the single most effective thing you can do, is learn content and try and learn it effectively. So put time in to doing that. Now, that said, obviously it's important to do questions. And what I'd recommend with this is doing regular questions. So lots of students do talk about past papers a lot, and past papers are very useful. If you want a number on how many of those that you might want to be considering now, I'd put it between 2 and 4 a week, past papers. However, one thing I like to do is just embed questions into my revision. It doesn't have to be like a 2-hour-long past paper that you sit down and do. You could do 1 English language 40-mark question, or every Sunday, or usually every Sunday, I did like some history questions. So that took me about 30 minutes. Then I did about 30 minutes of geography questions. You can be quite targeted and you can get a lot done in that time. So don't be intimidated by massive exam papers. You can still do questions. Remember, as always, with the essay questions, try hand them into your teacher if they're willing to mark it. If not, then you'll have to use AI or something and try and mark it, and keep working on that improvement. Another way I embedded questions into my routine is through Corbett Maths 5 a day. If you've been following me for a while, subscribed for a while, you'll know how much I love Corbett Maths. For maths, I did this every single day. It's 5 maths questions. And crucially, I marked it. I really understood where I was going wrong. So I'd either go through it with my dad, or I'd take it into my teacher, or I'd try and use anything to learn it, YouTube. And I just kept doing that again and again. They do 100-day countdown books as well now. They didn't do that during my GCSEs. But try do something like daily maths, and that made sure that I was really well practiced by the time exams came around. One thing I also talked about in my 4-month video was science topic tests. So hopefully the theme that you should be seeing from this is it doesn't have to be loads and loads and loads of past papers yet. Obviously that's useful. You should be doing a couple a week, but try and just embed topic papers into your revision and questions into your revision. It doesn't have to be like, all practice papers and no content. It's about that balance, and that's going to be really, really effective for you. The other thing as well is when you learn something, so say I've just gone through chemistry topic 10 or something on Seneca, don't do the questions straight away after them. Do questions on that topic in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, because that will actually see if it's got into your memory. So don't just do one topic in an evening and do everything about it and questions and think, right, that's done, I'm going to leave it. You've got to remember how memory works. You've got to remember the science behind memory. So you've got to go over it again and do some questions in 2 weeks' time instead of straight away. It's also time to be starting light flashcards. So you may, in my 4-month video, I was advising that you should be making flashcards. You should still be making flashcards. I didn't really stop making flashcards until my exams. There's always a little bit to add, but think about starting to go through flashcards. So it was around about this month, probably March, where I was actually starting to come up with a good flashcard framework, and I was literally doing it daily, half an hour daily. But I would be starting to try, because you might have a massive amount of flashcards, and I would start to actually go through those flashcards. In my experience, I preferred it for my GCSEs with my parent. I'd ask them to do it, or you could ask your friends to do it, but you may do it by yourself as well. But I found with my parents, it was often a bit more entertaining, and so it motivated me to do it more. One thing as well that I haven't really talked about in my videos before is that weekends are really beneficial and really important. How you use your weekend is critical. Every weekend I was just revising a lot in those weekends. And one thing that I did, and one thing I like to do, is basically I would go through 5 subjects in a weekend in a specific day. Like Saturday, I'd be doing 5 subjects. Some days I would cover every single subject. So I'd be doing some flashcards that I'd mix them up because I like to cover different subjects. Then I would maybe do some Senecas on different subjects, and I'd do some questions on different subjects. So it doesn't have to be, for me, 3 hours on one subject. There's a lot to cover. So I like doing concentrated hours of different subjects and covering a lot on weekends. So in the next month, I want you to use weekends to your advantage effectively. Try and set yourself tasks to do on the weekends and just get through work on the weekends. Try and get up, get in a good routine. Weekends is it's so much time, and you may be tired after school. So the weekends are the time to be fresh and get through a lot of work. As always, track your revision. Now, this is something I didn't do during my GCSEs that I would have liked to have done, but I track my revision now for my university using Flora. So it's just an app you can install. You press Flora, and it also means you can't go on your phone when you're timing it. And it's useful to track it. It's useful to see how much you're doing, because then you can see, okay, I need to up it this week. And I find it motivational. So I'd advise tracking your revision. In terms of specific times, how much revision should you be doing? I would probably say you're looking at 2 to 3 hours on a weekday and 4 to 7 hours, 4 to 6 hours on a weekend. 7's probably high, to be fair. I don't really think I did a 7-hour day. It was more spread out than that, and it wasn't as condensed as that. But if you're aiming for the significant grades, for the top grades, for the 9s, especially if you're currently at 4s or 5s, it's possible, but there's no shying away from the fact that it involves work. To those of you that struggle with procrastination, I've done videos on that, but just a couple final thoughts about that. Put your phone away when you revise. I always had this mantra: if your phone is there, you are not revising. If you time it, still you can put your phone outside. Your phone just shouldn't be in the room, because I know you get distracted, you get distracted. Eliminate distractions. I wasn't any much more efficient than other people. What I did, or disciplined than other people, what I did was I recognized what was holding me back and I got rid of them. So sometimes I'd give my phone to my parents and say, can you just not let me have this? And I also like to have revision that didn't involve screens, because I knew that they could be distracting too. So sometimes just quiet focus with paper flashcards or with past paper or something like that can also be effective. I hope you found this video helpful then. Hopefully I've filled it with as much information as I can. My channel is the place to be in the build up to GCSE exam season, so make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and sign up to my email list as well. And I'll see you in the next video.